Meanwhile, Zalika, observing the deepening sorrow her actions had caused, felt a growing remorse. Witnessing her sister's pain and the disruption in her marital harmony, she realized the destructive power of envy and lies. In the quiet of Abena's kitchen, as they cleaned up after a meal, Zalika hesitated before finally speaking.
Abena, I don't know how to begin to apologize for the lies I told. I was jealous, and I hurt you deeply.
Abena set down the dish she was drying and turned to face her sister.
Zalika, your words wounded me and almost shattered my marriage. But I see the remorse in your eyes. Tell me, what have you learned from this?
Zalika took a deep breath, her heart heavy.
I've learned that envy blinds us to our blessings. Uzoma's love, which I envied so much, isn't about wealth or status. It's about the peace and joy you share. I want to find that peace, not disrupt it.
Abena listened intently, then slowly nodded.
Forgiveness isn't easy, Zalika, but I see your desire to change. We all deserve a chance to correct our mistakes.
Zalika reached out, taking her sister's hands in hers.
Thank you, Abena. I promise to make things right, not just with words, but with actions. Let's move forward together,
Abena said, squeezing her hands.
Family is about forgiveness and growth.
The confession was a painful shock to Uzoma, but overhearing the truth from Zalika began the final healing process. They forgave Zalika, understanding that her actions, though harmful, stemmed from her struggles and insecurities. The couple's love, now tested, grew stronger, proving that trust and understanding were the true foundations of their bond. Zalika felt a burden lift from her shoulders, but she knew her path to redemption was just beginning. Determined to prove her sincerity, Zalika threw herself into learning not only about cooking, but also about the various tasks that kept the community thriving. She spent days with Abena, learning how to tend to a vegetable garden, and even trying her hand at the local craft of basket weaving. As the seasons changed, so did Zalika. She volunteered to help organize the village's seasonal festivals, which were crucial for community bonding and celebration of their collective hard work. During the planning of the harvest festival, Zalika worked alongside the village elders, learning the traditions and stories that had been passed down through generations. One afternoon, while preparing decorations for the festival, she found herself surrounded by a group of curious children. "Tell us a story, Miss Zalika," they chimed, their eyes wide with anticipation. Zalika smiled, a sense of belonging warming her heart. She wove a tale not of princes and palaces, but of a lost girl who found her way back home through the kindness of her community. As she spoke, the elders listened, nodding approvingly at her newfound humility and grace. Through these months, Zalika's transformation became the talk of the village. People who had once whispered about her airs and graces now spoke of her sincerity and hard work. Even the skeptics had to admit that the change in her was profound and genuine. The sisters spent long afternoons together, sharing stories and laughter, something they hadn't done since their childhood. This rekindled bond brought joy not only to them, but also to their parents, who had longed to see their daughters united in harmony. Meanwhile, Zalika knew she had to face Prince Salim and show him the woman she had become. One evening, she invited him to a simple dinner at her parents' home. The table was set under the open sky, and Zalika served dishes she had prepared herself. Salim arrived skeptical but curious. As they ate, Zalika nervously broke the silence.
Salim, I know words may not be enough to express my regret for the past, but I hope this meal, prepared by my own hands, shows my commitment to change,
she said, her voice steady but soft. Prince Salim looked at her, his expression unreadable for a moment before he replied,
Zalika, seeing you embrace a simpler life and take responsibility has surprised me. I admit, I doubted if you could ever change.
Zalika nodded, accepting his honesty.
I understand why you felt that way. I was lost in my dreams of grandeur, failing to see the beauty in genuine effort and care.
Salim paused, tasting the food before him, then looked up with a slight smile.
This is delicious, Zalika. It's not just the food, but knowing you made it, that makes it special.
Encouraged, Zalika continued,
I want to build our life on truth and effort, Salim. Not just in the kitchen, but in all aspects of our life together. Can you give me another chance?
I would like that,
Salim said, reaching across the table to gently take her hand.
Let's rebuild, slowly and honestly.
Over time, their relationship, built now on mutual respect and understanding, slowly mended. As the stars began to twinkle in the evening sky, Zalika and Abena sat together, feeling peaceful after all they had gone through. They were thankful for how things turned out, and Zalika felt ready to talk about what they had learned. Abena, she said quietly.
I've learned so much from everything that happened.
Abena smiled and encouraged her to share more.
First, I learned that being honest and humble is really important, Zalika explained, looking up at the stars. Admitting our mistakes and being real about who we are can help fix things and make us understand each other better.
Abena nodded and added,
And forgiving each other. It's not just about making things right, but it also brings us peace and makes us stronger. Forgiving you helped us become close again, and it felt good.
Zalika took a deep breath, feeling the importance of her next words.
I also realized that it's important to do things for yourself. Relying on others for everything isn't good. Learning to cook and work on the farm made me feel useful and proud. And we shouldn't be jealous of what others have.
Abena said,
Being jealous almost ruined everything. We should be happy for others and be thankful for what we have. We should always try to be better on our own, not by making others feel less important.
The sisters thought about how these lessons weren't just for them, but for everyone in their village. They planned to talk about these things at the next village meeting, hoping to inspire others with their story of making up, learning, and growing stronger together. So, Zalika and Abena lived their lives full of love and new wisdom. Their story, shared with everyone, showed how important it is to be honest, forgiving, self-reliant, and kind. Their experience helped them and their community to understand the power of living a good and meaningful life. The end.